Okay, so let's look at the game. They've already done the setup, and of course, Khal Drogo was named as the prince that was promised. And Targaryen sets up Sept Alemore, devoted Blood Rider and High Road, and one card in Shadows, that's of course Aegon. And for Miha, there is Melisandre, Reducer and Acolyte, and Samikon. I think that's pretty good start for Baratheon. Uh, some claim so, as well as Melisandre. That's gonna be a good benefit. And starting with Late Summer Feast, usually Miha starts with the Maiden in this deck, but in practice games it did go pretty well, starting with Late Summer Feast to establish the board and also marshal some of the important locations, so hopefully it goes well. And Targaryen opens with the Maiden, so also the biggest icon plot for this deck. I think there's another 6 coster, or maybe not even that, so um, they will also try to marshal some characters maybe, but Miha goes first, so Melisandre and Nir have to be satisfied with one of those two, or potentially there's Sin Flames as well. So it's Alistair Florent. Draws one card, and let's see if. Yeah, so I'm guessing no Sin in Flames then. But he's also good. Targaryen plays Marched and Mad King's Command, and when he leaves play, he can deal something. It's definitely very good, especially for Mad King's Command. Now let's see what else happens. I think what's really good against this deck is to try to play around overwhelming numbers. So it needs to have 2 attack in the Trakis, so if you manage to lock one and near the other, then maybe you can't have enough attackers to actually push that big claim challenge through. But there's no Black Cells or Storm's End, which are pretty key locations here. It could be Storms and Black Cells rather than Shadows. And now I think even with some claim race, this is still a pretty solid board. And Marshall straight from the hand, not from the shadows as this deck sometimes does. Now let's see what Targaryen marshals. Okay, so that's more recon than I'm used to. I played a couple of games with this deck against Miha, and so and Kota. So discard Kohola and Friedman, and Viserys, which is annoying. Yeah, so the econ is gonna be really good now, and um, I think Targaryen doesn't play any of their own summer plot cards, so yeah, managed to get them through Miha's plot. And they keep triggered, so assuming they want to play Aegon as well. So this is not a burn deck, but it still has some burn, so I think it has Consuming Flames, 2 copies, which is an unpleasant surprise if you're expecting just the Trachea aggro. Um, but here, of course, it's open decklist, so you are you have to be careful about it. Can defend with this Acolyte of the Flame just in case. And there is High Road, which is basically um, used to play one of those 2 events. Overwhelming numbers or so what does Miha do? Ah, oh, that's not very good. Hope there's another copy somewhere. Yeah, I could. It's gonna be pretty frustrating if this was now. Yeah, there's other useful stuff, but this is definitely one of the most key cards in this matchup to avoid the military pressure. Of course, there's Aegon, and he can just find whatever he wants, and it's, of course, Raiding Kalasar. Ah, and Shadow Priestess nears it. So, I guess there is no Black Sails and Shadow Sailor, so it would be nice to see some of those locations. Okay, so he does defend with Alistair, and there was no punishment, so hopefully there is no Consuming Flames in hand. Well, what's going on? Okay, so Miha chooses Acolyte. Interesting. Could. Mm, yeah, maybe he needs the econ. There's only one road. So Targaryen does play for Snow, which gets rid of Viserys, so the attachment can be discarded, but he also loses Devoted Blood Rider, and not the worst right now for Miha as well. Oh, and he loses Septa more anyway. So, if he plays for Snow, can he discard Traitor, or would it go back to Miha's hand because they leave play at the same time? Not really sure. But I don't think that's a good situation for Snow anyway. There are two claims plot, but oh, so he does play for Snow, okay. And there are, there's Fury of the Calisar, that's two claim plot, and Vanquish the Unbelievers, but there is a surprisingly big number of non-Dothraki characters, right? So Safeta goes to hand, and which means Aegon will go back to Shadows. I'm just not sure about the Viserys and Traitor interaction. He keeps 4 gold, which means Aegon can come back out. So Miha could marshal one of the 5 cost characters that are in the deck. So there's Eldon and there's Bastard of Nightsong, only 1 copy. But that's a bit awkward situation then for Valar the High-Res. Which actually both decks run. Yeah, perhaps Acolyte would be more useful to look at the top 2 cards. He marshals Angry for Melisandre, of course. Bit unfortunate because he's not even a Baratheon character that could be reduced, but alright. He nails Rakara and Kota stays standing, which fair enough. But now only 3 gold to work with. The econ seems pretty bad. So are we just gonna put something in Shadows with the agenda and pass? Yeah, okay. It's not looking good. Mm. Well, just one claim soak type character would be fine. Or actually, well, Aegon comes back, another 2 claim. Yeah, you would need two claim soak characters. If you could get a reducer in shadows or something like that. But yeah, the situation seems pretty bad right now, so there's two claim for Targaryen with raiding Kalazar, and well, let's say there's one character in shadows, two die, and then Melisandre gets marched anyway. And then look at the board, there's no locations either, just this one Rose Road, and pretty hard to turn around at that point, but we'll see. Mm-hmm. Let's that's something. So kills them, Nils Aegon, then gets at least one Brand the Builder trigger. Yeah, so if there's no overwhelming numbers, then it's alright for this round, but still, if Melisandre gets marched, that's a pretty dire situation, and yeah, he uses High Road, so I'm guessing there's another one of these coming. Well then, I don't know if there's much hope for this game, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a pessimist. Yeah, I think he should get the Neil from Alistair, right? Yeah, it doesn't really matter which one anyway. Hmm. Yeah, in testing, some games went like that. The others, when Baratheon could fight back, you needed some of the locations, and yeah, with just the Rose Road, I don't think there's that much of a comeback that Baratheon can have. And a decent board for Targaryen. So the Maiden versus the Fury of the Khalasar gets 2 gold for Beggar King and Morricone and double claim. So hopefully there's something useful in Shadows now. Spend the gold from last round to put extra cards in Shadows. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, duped character, so she can get killed right away, but hmm. It's gonna do something if there's Khal Drogo marshaled now. He can't stand, but not really brilliant. Yeah, losing Storm's End at the beginning definitely really hurt. Yeah, and this guy's back. Just horrible. To be fair, now the claim race is a bit pointless unless Miha brings out another character, but really no point doing it now. Yeah. So you could do a military challenge with Rakara now. No Storm's End, and he has this anyway. Yeah. This is now 10 strength to find Khal Drogo. Of course, the core version there is, and the other one as well, but I think this one's just better. Ah, Aegon has insight from Septa as well. Well, he is still winning dominance as well, unless there's throne, and there is not apparently. Marshal Zangui, or brings him out of shadows rather. Yeah, I'm pretty pessimistic about this match. He's on 10 already, so with Khal Drogo and Renown now. Of course. But yeah, the Hyrus now doesn't really do much. Gets rid of um, these guys, so Traitor goes away. And I think you can get Aegon to Shadows before. Yeah, well. Yeah, that's really annoying. So he had to choose Aegon for the Hyrus, I guess. If they all go to the bottom at the same time, uh, Septa wouldn't trigger. Because there was not that much better cards to keep. Could keep Friedman. And the icon is so bad with this agenda that you also have -1, and now you couldn't even march for Storm's End if you had it. Placing in flames. Before Angui dies. Yeah, I don't think making notes is worth it at this point. But maybe there's still a comeback. Let's see what he chooses. Yeah, I think there's still marched. There is still vanquish the unbelievers. And what is the last plot that I'm missing? Oh, Mad King's command, of course. And Miha has Feast for Crows and Clash of Kings and then Trade Routes. So trade routes really useless here. But Feast for Crows would give another 2 gold to Targaryen. Which I think is the only realistic plot that you can play just because at this point the econ is so bad with just 4 gold from Clash. That's not that much you can do. And I assume both of them will die now. I don't think there's any magic solution that. So there's gonna be 2 unopposed and no power claim, so that's 12. And he is winning dominance, but could still be something like Throne in Shadows. Yeah, so it's gonna be 12-1 now. And then the next round is Fist for Crows versus. So, Vanquish the Unbelievers is really bad now. March doesn't do anything. And Matt Higgins' command also doesn't do anything. So I guess you go for March and Friedman comes back, right? Or Aegon comes back if there's another cup in hand. Alright. Yeah, Miha knows at that point if there's another Aegon or not, but unopposed at 13. It goes for military. Alright, that's fairly decent. This can be defended now. But you probably want to bestow him because. Or not. It does look right now like he can just get him. Doesn't take it down either. So. There's another military challenge now anyway. Which gets him on 14 and then renown gets him to 15. Yeah. Well, that was a disappointing game, but there were games that went much better in testing, but you needed the locations and yeah. Well, that puts us at 0-1 with Targaryens in the lead, and we have two other games tomorrow that hopefully go a bit better. And we'll probably record it, but yep. Bye bye.